Sideline of goal! Lane Widow's doing it! They're gonna take! He's gonna bring down Bernie! Alone with a double kill! Dropping fast! Bonavoid's there! He's still alive! Wait, Oshak is late! He's got one side! He's got a second! He's taking them! They're overtime! On three! They're all dead!
Welcome back, everybody, to the Summit 2 by G2A.com. I'm Gods from Beyond the Summit, bringing you Europe action. They couldn't get enough of me, apparently, because SEA ended. We only had one best of one, so I'll be covering the first couple of Europe action games today as we get things started with Team Secret versus Power Rangers. Team Secret have been doing pretty damn good, just a single loss to their name in the Summit 2. As for Power Rangers, these guys are the upset kings. They're looking like they may actually make it into the playoffs at this rate. I think they're 7-3. Let me pull up some good old Wikipedia. My good friend for these casts. Always have Wikipedia on my side monitor. So Power Rangers 7-3, Secret 5-1. This is the last game for Power Rangers. A win here, guaranteed top 4. No way. 8-3 easily gets them into the top 4. A loss, 7-4, you could be on the cusp. You could be kind of in a tiebreak scenario for that like 3rd, 4th, 5th spot, and only the top 4 get in. So if a lot of teams end up 7-4, we could see some tiebreakers, or some kind of actually like other measures coming into play as to who goes into the playoffs. But even a 7-4 record may be enough to be in the top 4, and that's pretty damn good however you look at it, because this European division is stacked. So for Power Rangers to be in that top 4 is damn impressive. But guys, enough chit-chat. That's where we are in the Summit. I'm Gods from Beyond the Summit, and we're going to get ourselves into the draft for the first game of today. As said, it is Power Rangers versus Team is Secret. No longer a secret. Everyone knows who they are. At one point it was a secret. Back post TI4 when everyone was wondering what are the new rosters going to be. But here we go. Power Rangers on the dire side, playing with that oh so wonderful stand-in. Coddle Guy's been like, every time like I see Coddle Guy after his Europe cast, he's just like, this Ditchara guy is legit. He is a player. So I haven't got to cast any of these games, so going to be interesting to see just what he pulls off today, but definitely a player that Coddle Guy's hyped up, so I'll see if Dakota is true to his word and of the skills of this player. A very tough opponent in Team Secret. Many people would probably rightfully argue the best team in Europe right now, with EG being the best in America, of course, having won Star Ladder and taken at least the first title over Secret. So as far as best Western team goes, there's always that like EG Secret kind of, not even rivalry, it's too soon to call a rivalry, but there's definitely a debate between these two teams. And I think Star Ladder showed they're pretty damn even, although EG did end up winning Star Ladder. So I guess they've won the first battle of probably many to come between Secret and EG. But as far as Europe's concerned, Secret have been very dominant. Few teams seem to... I would say Cloud9 probably comes closest as far as matching up to them, but even Cloud9 very inconsistent at times with the online tournaments especially. They're 5-2 at the moment, which is pretty respectable as far as the Summit Europe's concerned. Tinker haven't even done that well in the Summit Europe. They're 6-5. They've played all their matches, and I don't know if 6-5 is going to be good enough. I think there's a good chance they get knocked out of the top 4 at this rate. They're currently sitting in the top 4 with 6 wins, but there's still a lot of teams with a lot of games to play. And best case scenario for Tinker is I think tiebreakers for the 4th spot, which is a bit of a long shot as far as they're concerned. So they're going to be they had a really bad day. They lost. I think they were like 5-1 at one point, and then they lost 4 games in a row after Star Ladder. They were a bit tired and exhausted, and that was the way the matches were scheduled by by no fault of ours. they chose those scheduled times, and unfortunately their play was somewhat affected by it. But as far as this draft is concerned, we do have the No-Tail Wisp. This is the first thing which I see, and I've seen so many dominant Wisp games. It's crazy. This hero does serious work. Everyone kind of used to pick this hero and love him for the tether stun. Like we'd see the Wisp Ricky, we'd see, I mean, your classic Wisp Tiny, your Wisp CK with the Reality Rift into tether stun, and then you followed up with the CK stun. But suddenly people are like, wait a second, the stun/slow from tether isn't what makes this hero good. Okay, it was what once made the hero good with the stun, but nowadays people are just like, wait, it's the healing with bottle and overcharge, not to mention the damage block you get from this being so ridiculously good. Early game especially, Wisp rushing the bottle is a no-brainer, and you just sit back out of range of initiations and just protect whichever kind of core hero you need to protect. Not to mention the double runes make Wisp even stronger, so expect to see some kind of a Wisp dual lane in the mid lane, I would say. They're on the Radiant side, so there's the potential for those little mid lane pulls if you get those range camps where the Wisp can tether to the mid creeps and pull them over to do some XP. But more likely, I think the more standard Wisp mid play is to just stack the big camps. So have some kind of tiny or something which can just clear off those camps with relative ease, or whatever it may be. Even just a puck can kind of nuke it down. Plenty of options as far as Wisp partners go. I like the PA. We've seen a bit of Wisp PA. They've done the Wisp Necrophos here and there, which is still a hero that's in the pool. And that's kind of like an off-lane dual lane they do. Put Necrophos in the off-lane with just Wisp sitting behind, healing him up and protecting him. And they've had some pretty good success with that, as we've seen in recent tournaments. So, yeah, Secret Wisp, let's go. As we get ourselves deeper in this draft. And Nature's Prophet. So no, Slark's the closest thing to a Wisp partner as far as this draft is concerned. It seemed they just want Wisp for being Wisp. It's not like they're going to go for a clear duo with the Wisp. No Tiny, no PA. Not even the Necrophos, which has some really good synergy with the heal, tether heal. So, Prophet, not a hero Secret have run all too much of either, from the games I've seen especially. But we'll see exactly how this fits in here. Who's actually going to be going where? Most likely an off-lane Prophet, which should probably be Fly with S4 on the mid-puck, and you put Kuro on the safe lane farming Slark. But then it's kind of, Wisp in the safe lane is okay, it's not amazing, can't really harass or zone out a Tide, so I actually do not like the idea of putting Wisp as a safe lane support. Maybe in some kind of a proper tri-lane could do okay, but as far as zoning out Tide, I don't think Wisp adds too much. Slark, though, is a good zoning hero, because Tide, if you want to walk up melee, get those anchor smashes off, suddenly you have a Slark who's pouncing on you, has Essence Shift, even just that one value point to take stats and really try and punish you. So, let's talk about Power Rangers, though. We've kind of talked about Secret's draft in detail here. And Power Rangers, the team, as I said, 7-3, they've been doing well. Straight up pick the Tide, knowing it's a hero that Secret like to go, and that was the first pick Tide. Skywrath made support to follow it up with a Sand King, so nothing too crazy as far as the support duo is concerned. Skywrath, I mean, he's your bread and butter. He's a great hero, whichever way you look at him. And Sand King gives you that extra additional teamfight AoE. And right now, Power Rangers definitely are the king of teamfights with the Sand King and the Tide Hunter. And then you say, look, we've got all the teamfight in the world. We can create all this space. We can basically run a full Protect 1. Let's get the Anti-Mage. So they pull out the Anti-Mage, which is... I don't think this is a terrible game for an Anti-Mage, but it's definitely not like, oh, Anti-Mage is great against this draft. Like, there's silence on the puck when he gets a blink, pre-Manta style. I mean, there's going to be like a 5 to 10 minute window when puck has blink and Anti-Mage doesn't have Manta style, where blink silence initiations can cause him problems. If Slark goes for a blink on top of that, suddenly you've got the blink pounce there to catch the Anti-Mage with a silence from the puck. Could even go for the Shadow Blade instead. And Prophet often builds into an Orchid. If not, he's going to go for that late game Hex. And now an Enigma last pick, so Black Hole some additional lockdown. And Midnight Pulse is actually some crazy good damage for actually dealing with heroes. It's pure damage, so this is actually not something that's going to get reduced by the spell shield of the Anti-Mage. So something you can kind of rely on at all stages of the game as far as actually dealing damage and helping you bring down an Anti-Mage. So it looks like we'll see the Puppy Jungle Enigma deciding to get a bit greedy. I think they saw Power Rangers with this crazy team fight and very ultimate dependent lineup. Like they want to fight around the Tide Ravage especially, less so the Epicenter. Just having a Blink Barrier Strike's probably enough. Like they can fight when Epicenter's down if they have Tide Ravage. At least as long as they're equal on farm. Like if they're playing from behind, you don't want to fight without like everything in your arsenal. But Secret probably look at this and say, okay, let's get kind of a bit greedy. They've got the Anti-Mage for one thing. They can't really pressure towers. Like you don't want to fight into Power Rangers, and they can't really force fights too well until they've got their Blink Daggers. And even then, you can play kind of defensively and look to counter-initiate. Enigma with the fast mech, Puck with the Blink silencing behind people. So even when they go for those first few Blink pickoffs, which you were likely to see, it's going to be interesting to see how well they work. And, ooh, Sashglow going to be picking up the Lina here. So this puts one of these heroes that looked like a support into a core role. We'll have to see which one it's going to be. Farming Lina mid? They've got the Sand King, but it's a question of who's going mid right now. And you're likely against, well, a Puck at this point, so I'm not sure. None of these heroes, I guess Skywrath does best as far as 1v1 matchups in the mid lane go. This guy is a pretty strong lane dominator. Problem is, he doesn't benefit as much from the farm as other heroes. The fast level 6 is nice and all, get some good early items, but we'll see what the plan's going to be from PR. Haven't seen them recently, so can't say for sure based on the players and who's picked up what. But we'll get ourselves into the game, into the actual game soon enough. As don't worry, no overlay, fairly Reno today, and yeah, we're well and truly underway now. So do we have Dota 2 sounds? Yeah, we got Dota 2 sounds. Let me know if Dota 2 sounds need to be put up a little bit, guys. Not entirely sure how the balance is. Oh, I heard that blink. Alright, so we'll introduce our two teams here. We are going to have Power Rangers. Ooh, spicy. Mid laner. On the Dire side, the team who's 7-3 currently, we're going to see Suniko at the top lane on the support Skywrath Mage. We're going to have J4 on the support Sand King. We'll have Sashglow playing the Lina as a solo mid, and oh man, they know exactly what just happened. Teacher, okay, blink up, north, S4 gonna go for the body blocks. They got the tether souls over, but he lost the block. Oh, almost. They don't care. No miss, no miss. No. First blood S4. Well, it was an interesting idea. Enigma knows exactly where the ward is. That is mission failed. That's problematic. Oh man. Not what you were hoping to have to start off this game. As Dicha does head now up to the top lane, so it's not gonna end of the day, it doesn't hurt him, it just helps Secret a ton. As far as getting the D ward off and getting the first blood money. First blood money to Puck. Puck has 450 gold with a null talisman first. This is like a bottle rush. This is like the 2 branch build where you're just rushing bottle and you have it instantly. But he has a null talisman for the last hitting to help compete against the Lina. So, not going to be fun for the Lina at mid as far as the 1v1 matchup. I was looking forward to seeing a Lina mid, but when the Puck of S4 has a first blood, it's brutal. Treants, can he get the block off? Yes, he can. He does lose them both in the process, so PR do get the last hits, the money, as well as the experience, which is, well, not really as good as getting the pull off. So they're not going to be able to zone Simba out too much from this lane. A bit of a dodgy Nature's Call there. Only gets the single Treant. And he's going to wait to send this. He doesn't want to lose this. He wants to make sure he gets this block off. And it looks like PR have fallen back. They're going for the double stack. Sand King will stack the big camp. Skywrath will stack the medium. As, well, they decide they want to be as efficient as possible. Puppy's gone for the early Midnight Pulse. Ah, it doesn't get the D block. Something which is you can do as Enigma, which is kind of not, or it depends which camp you get, is you kill this big camp twice. That's how you want to start your jungle pattern. Something a lot of people don't quite understand. Well, not that they don't understand, they don't realize that you can kill this twice. Generally, it's not 100% reliable, but you should always try to do so. So, you kill the big camp, you move your stuff away, and then you kill it a second time. It's more efficient than trying to kill big camp and then go immediately to this medium camp. So, either way, small things there, and Puppy obviously knowing that tried to unblock it, but didn't get quite what the right movement on that one. But we'll see how things progress from here. Simba's gone boots first in the off lane, and he's doing just fine. He's got himself level 2, so has the teleport. And he's getting zoned out a bit here, but he can get back to Fountain to get that mana back for more Treants, and then back to lane thanks to the teleport. You can teleport one way and then use a scroll of TP the other way. As we'll see the 2-minute rune coming up. S4 already with a bottle. Very rare you would see mid-heroes with bottle for the 2-minute rune when they went null talisman first. But first blood helps him out, and we see Secret in a pretty good position because of that. Like, Lina's going to have bottle now. But Lina can't really pressure the Puck too much. You're not going to be hitting stuns, Dragon Slaves, bottom lane. There's a dive coming in. It's going to be Notel and Kuro looking for the Tide, and Tide with just level 2 Kraken seems to be somewhat resilient to this, and I like the level 2 Kraken over Anchor Smash. You get the physical damage reduction regardless. 5% difference from level 1 to level 2 is not worth it, but the Kraken may have just saved his life there, having that second point. As I will still profit. It looks like he TP'd home and then TP'd back top. Summoned some Treants immediately, and, well, he's good to go. Keeps on blocking this camp here, and he's there in time, so he has not let this camp spawn once. As, is he gonna? Yeah, he's gonna get this pull off, so Fly is being very pesky as far as lane equilibrium is concerned. Dichiraz farming well, as I'm not sure why we're on the net worth there. Let's get some last hits. I'm on LD's account, as some of you may have noticed. There we go. These is not my hotkeys. LD's going to be joining later on, but he had to step out for this first game, so I'm actually on his Steam account with some different hotkeys, but no big deal. We're managing. As Sand is going to start getting his doo-doo-doo on and take some of these camps here. Not level 3 yet, so he can't go full jungle mode here. Oh, God. Puck with a DD rune, that's just brutal. Lina luckily has the bottle and can at least heal up off of this. Bottom lane Tide. Getting decent farm. He's got 10 CS. He's going to have Arcane Boots. Kuro taking more damage. He goes for a Dark Pack, but you do not want to fight the Tide there. One more Anchor Smash, which was coming up in a few seconds, and suddenly you've got yourself a dead fishy. 4-minute rune, and they bring Sand King as well to guarantee this one. They know Lina is having a rough time mid against the Puck with ball. And when I say rough time, it's actually... Oh, there's a DD still. S4. He's going to either phase shift or silence Stash Glow. Ooh, he orb dodges it. There was nothing Lina could do there. Once Puck was on the high ground, he had phase shift, he had silence. You're not going to hit that stun. No way S4 lets you. He will get that kill 99 times out of 100. At top lane, there is a counter kill. Anti-Mage actually picking up, and that's a big kill to get. Going the way of your carry. Normally you kind of prioritize kills and ganks towards the mid lane, but when you've got an Anti-Mage, you love this fella to get big, and a kill like that will help out a bit. Bottom lane, we will see Kuro go in. I don't know about this one working out. As long as No-Tail keeps healing up Kuro, maybe they can do enough damage here, but he's so tanky. One more Anchor Smash is about to come in. Kuro, ooh, he's going to get the kill, just barely. Took a lot of damage in the process, and the problem was No-Tail just kept bottling up. The only thing you can try to do there as a Tide is try and cancel the bottle heals, because Kuro was so low on HP at the start there, and No-Tail just basically gives him an extra like 500 HP. I think you have to try walk to the Wisp and either right-click him or go for the Anchor Smash to hit the Wisp, so Kuro doesn't get healed up. You still need to Anchor Smash Kuro, but you need to stop that bottle regen from the Wisp, so you can't just let him just sit there healing up Kuro. I mean, I don't know if he could have survived there if he had done so even. As soon as you start attacking the Wisp, then you're taking more damage because you're not running back to the safety of your tower, but it was kind of a tricky spot to be in, so as things stand, Secret in a pretty good position with these first couple of kills here. Puck at mid lane got silenced up. They did go for a kill here. One more right click, not going to be enough. 55 HP. The Ancient Seal gank did come in, but unable to execute and complete the kill there. Laguna Blade not available just yet. Was half a level away, but once you hit level 6, that's where Puck gets extra suspicious of possible ganks coming in. Oh, they know the Puck's going this way. They saw him with this Observer Ward. Tide, oh, he's going to try and contest this one. Coil gets used, Ravage as well. S4 gets punished. No-Tail now. Can't really do too much. He's too low in HP. Anchor Smash is once again available. Great Ravage coming in from Cheshire Cat. He'll venture back to base, I imagine, off of that one. And that's a solo kill onto the Puck. Well worth the even long cooldown ultimate there. Just a small little gold change, but it just slows down S4's momentum and punishes some greed here. This Observer Ward set that one up. He knew exactly where Puck was doing walking in, and then he hides in this little fog of Roshan. Secret seemed to have a pretty good idea. They pinged him out. Wisp came along to provide some additional support, but Wisp did not have the heals. Oh, S4 with some little cheeky bottle refills. I wonder if that's something that IceFrog is like happy with that exists. I feel like it's very counterintuitive. Like I think it's fine that the Fountain like aura effect lingers for a little bit, but the fact that you can refill teammates' empty bottles with a TP in from Fountain just seems a bit kind of maybe overpowered. Bottom lane we'll see a TP out as Kuro and No-Tail were going in for another kill, but heads up play by the Tide just to evacuate the bottom lane. And J4 is in full jungle mode now. He's hit level 4, so he's got the 2 points in the Sandstorm and has not too many stacks. May have actually cleared some already when he hit level 3 with the second point in Sandstorm initially. But as things stand, Anti-Mage soaring ahead on the CS charts. You've got a safe lane farming Slark with almost half the CS of this Anti-Mage. This guy is just a lasting machine. Dakota was talking up his carry abilities, and well, we're seeing it here. As far as the early game last hitting is concerned. Possible rotation from Puppy. Ooh, he's going for this ward here. Oh. Happens to the best of us. Happens to the best of us. I like how he didn't even go for the... He had a second one, and he's like, nope, I'm not going for it. Oh, that's rough. Or maybe it's intentional. No, it can't be intentional. There's no, that's on no way. Coil at the top lane and nothing to cancel the TP. S4 Actually got the rune. I think he used that coil just to get the rune. But man, there we go. Some Dota Cinema fails of the week. He stood there for like 2 seconds, like trying to like perfectly place it, and then failed. It's one of those ones you need to go into the replay and watch player perspective of Puppey and just relive the moment. Poor Clement. There's Kuro now dying the bottom lane. Cheshire Cat no TP this time, but he has got a Ravage, and Kuro and Big Daddy gonna get 2, gonna get 3. Puppey's caught out as well. That's an anti-mage TP in Black Hole. Puppey's still alive. How long will he stay alive for, as he does get brought down, but there's a kill onto the Tide. Anti-mage forced back, taking too much damage off of that. That Black Hole saved what was looking like a really bad fight for Secret. If he does not get that 10 HP Black Hole off, suddenly Secret lose 2, probably 3. They were going to lose the Slark and the Wisp as well, maybe, of the Enigma there. But that Black Hole really came in at just the right time. Unfortunately for PR, they couldn't bring down Puppey fast enough. Otherwise, that would have been a fantastic fight for them with the Anti-Mage TP. And Anti-Mage TP'd in with Mana Void. If they kill the Enigma, no Black Hole, Anti-Mage just gets a second and third kill because of that Mana Void. He was brought down low HP too fast because of that Black Hole Slark damage. Anti-Mage, though, that's going to, kind of slow down his farm a little bit to just pull himself away from the lane, but if he gets kills off of it, it's worth it. He did not get the kill. Skyroth actually got the kill on the Enigma, so not the ideal scenario when you TP in. He was hoping to at least get his team a couple of kills, and the fact that he used a Ravage and an Anti-Mage TP and just get 1-for-1 trade, and an Anti-Mage slows down his farm, not worth it for Power Rangers. But it was still the right move to make. Like they were so close to getting 2 to 3 kills. We'll see mid lane. A relocate gank, they kill off the Lina. Top lane, meanwhile, Anti-Mage, not really under too much pressure. Well, he's under pressure, but he's not in any risk of going down with Black Hole on cooldown. And Secret are just pressuring towers all over the map. They've already got the bottom tier 1, Kuro and S4, trying to get the mid tier 1 as a pounce away from Kuro, but top lane at the same time being pressured. So pressure across the board from Secret, knowing they can't just let PR sit back, find their rhythm, get Anti-Mage's farm. Well, Sonico, S4, Silence, Epicenter. He gets the orb away, and S4 is still alive. Sonico needs a 1 or 2 more right clicks. Will barely get it, but it'll come at the cost of his life. Oh dear. Puck gets the counter kill. Meanwhile, Lina at top is brought down. I'm being corrected. Apparently this actually blocks. Okay, so this will block this camp here as Wisp actually finds another kill. Gets the Sand King. Thank you, Odiris Twitch chat. You guys are saving me. As this new map apparently needs to block these Ancients off. I guess with the Tide loves to bring down these Ancients, so we haven't seen the Ancients. I saw the Ancients here and just assumed it didn't block them, but the Ancients are apparently blocked off by this ward. Which is a good amount of farm that the Tide would like to get. We haven't seen him attempt the Ancients just yet, but right now he's been preoccupied. Is it the mid lane? Trying to deter this tier 1 tower from going down. No, oh, Glyph's still available. An Anti-Mage, almost Battle Fury. This is the big pickup. Uh-oh. Mid lane Titan Ravage, looking to turn this one around. Here comes J4, Burrow Strike onto Kuro. Kuro is going to just, he's almost winning the man fight until Deecher shows up. Gets the Mana Void. It's a 2-for-1 so far, going PR's way. Deecher now on retreat. He's run into Puppey, who doesn't have the mana for the Black Hole. Puppey is, Soaring's up, doesn't actually go for the Black Hole. Deecher's still alive, doesn't have the Battle Fury just yet, and I think Secret need to just cut their losses here. They want to get this tier 1 tower before they try and get out. As Anti-Mage still just man-fighting here. Lina hits the sun. Big Daddy gets brought down, and Secret just running out of firepower here. The tier 1 tower likely to get denied, and, well, the tower goes down. I'm now joined by Big Bad LD. How's it going, man?
Big LDZ.
Big LDZ.
I'm not no Big Daddy No-Tell. Hey, buddy, how's this game going?
It's pretty good.
It's turning on last second.
PR are like the Giant Slayers. They've taken like so many big upsets. They're 7-3, and here they are, like battling it out with Secret as S4 going to find a little kill here on the Skyroth Mage. But
Diyara is a player, man. This guy is going to have
Yeah.
a long and prosperous career, I feel.
he had a bit of a fail moment at the start where he tried to do some wards to block the... He gave up First Blood blinking into the enemy jungle.
I was watching that
Yeah.
while I was on a phone call, but I was like, nah, I still love this guy.
It was the right idea.
We're gonna have a jump in here. It looks like Shachel might go down. Yeah. Tries to stun. Nice juke by Kuro.
This Lina mid has just not worked out. Burrow Strike will come through, catch a couple.
Oh,
but
Big Daddy. Oh, a silence. That Slark is doing work.
yeah.
Slark is just a stock rising hero in general. Teams are just using this so effectively, and PR are one of the teams that started using it the most, to be honest. I think some of these other European teams are taking notes from them, which is, I mean, that's a real tribute to them, when you can say that.
I think teams are starting to show them a lot more respect, like you say. I mean, whether it's seeing some of the picks they're using and just the fact that they're getting all these big ups. I mean, they always have been that team, but I think they're actually getting more consistent the last month or so. It's not just been an upset here or there. It's been consistently, even when they're losing games against the top teams, they're having really close games.
Yeah, I have seen them have a few bad games. I'm not saying they're like a completely locked in stone tier 1 team, and it is online play by and large. They do still have 2 stand-ins, albeit long-term stand-ins, so can't read. Well, I guess Soniko just joined the roster then, because he was a stand-in like the past few weeks, but now he's tagged up. All right, maybe one stand-in then. Not sure.
Dichara maybe a new addition sometime soon as well, but the way he's been playing, you'd be surprised if PR don't snap him up.
Looks like they're going to go on top again with Kuro.
Oh,
completely fail pounce.
Yikes.
Wah, wah, wah. Now bottom lane.
He gets saved by that, relocating in as well. The anti-mage taking so much damage in the midnight pulse. Black Hole catches out the Tide, refusing to let him get that Ravage off. Just the solo Black Hole, but when you've got 5 heroes grouped around the Tide with Ravage, it's probably worth throwing that ultimate to
They had the Sand King
stop
pretty close by. I think if there was a chance if he Ravaged and the J4 immediately epi burrowed, that they could have turned that. But
yeah,
that hesitation, you can't do it against Enigma as the pew pew cannon comes out bottom lane.
Yeah, not much I can do about that one, but back towards top, it's pressure coming in from Kuro and the Wisp, who've made their way back up here, and Soniko can just watch this and really not do too much. A blink pounce will just be the death of him.
Well, Secret are doing a good job controlling the map here. They constantly are pushing in the top lane with the Slark Wisp. The relocate ganks are being used anytime that PR try to take fights. Nobody's allowed to farm here top, but at the same time, Kuroki is. They have 4 heroes farming. It's Puppey with a lot of jungle creep still, your leader in CS for Secret. This is a very up-tempo game, and they're executing it well, which for me is cool because you look at Secret, and I would say, dare I say, I wouldn't say they've been one-dimensional, but they've been fairly predictable, almost always picking Kuroki a really hard carry, like a
Have they played?
Medusa,
Have you seen them
Tiny
do
Wisp.
any Prophet? Like I saw the Nature's Prophet pick, and I was like, I can't remember them having Fly play this.
They were picking it for a while. Simba was playing a lot of, like, he was playing 2 heroes, basically, Timbersaw and Prophet. But
yeah.
that's going back like 3, 4, 5
At
weeks
Starladder,
ago.
there was no Nature's Prophet, I want to say.
No, it was actually all Tidehunter, and I kept on just saying, like, during the analyst panel, like, is someone gonna ban Tide against this team or take it away? And EG did that 3 games in a row, along with getting the Lycan picks, and ended up coming out on top.
I think it kind of makes sense. Like, you're at a big LAN tournament, like, you stick to your comfort zone and what you think's best, and then you come to, like, a tournament like this where you're not quite at the high-pressure moment of the LAN finals, and that's where you're like, okay, let's kind of, I mean, for one thing, practice a hero who doesn't play in competitive matches, and for another, then Puppey can figure out exactly how viable Prophet is compared to the Tide or whatever it may be.
Yeah, obviously, when you have a Wisp as well, it fits in a bit better. So, it's a cool combo. It's a nice lineup versus an anti-mage draft where you just constantly want to keep the pressure up. Overall state of the game is pretty good right now for Secret, leading by 8k gold, 7.5k experience, but the anti-mage is farming.
Yep.
Albeit fairly slowly. They have decent ways to deal with them later on. A natural Hex Carrier and the Puck and the Prophet if he wants to go that route. Slark, you can man-fight him with a Wisp support with a Basher if he stays ahead, which right now he's doing a pretty good job of doing. And they have the Black Hole. But you're up against double Ravage, and this hero, I feel like Tidehunter has just been straight up, not just winning games at Starladder, but since then, every pub game that you play, every competitive match that you watch is just Tide, refresh, get Refresher, then the game's seems to turn.
S4 mid gets...
I'm talking about Refresher. He's a long way off, but they don't want to get too comfortable.
S4 mid gets brought down once by the Aegis. He doesn't get the blink out. Now he's going to drop a coil here. He's trying to save himself, but the Ancient Seal silences him up. Dicha, not enough damage from the Mana Void. Burrow Strike as well. The hate onto S4 is real. He was so cocky mid because he had the Aegis. He thought he was just invincible, but he couldn't get the blink off after the Aegis respawned. The Mystic Flare was waiting for him and gets punished for some very cocky play. That's a big kill.
That's under the Dire tier 2 with only 3 heroes there. Your Prophet just teleported to top. Your Enigma's doesn't have Black Hole, can't really do too much. And PR, they didn't even Ravage. They still took that fight. So, again, Secret have a really good map control lineup, and I think can take this late, but it's
Yeah.
so easy for this to turn against them with the kind of lineup the PR has. Great initiate, a carry that scales pretty well with farm, and well, they're gonna find Simba as he tries to TP out. He thought he was safe at the tree line.
Got him. And Tide's only just got his blink. That's the one thing for PR. I feel like late game for them is really strong with the Tide Refresher, but getting there is going to take a long, long time at this rate because of how underfarmed Cheshire Cat is on that Tide. As far as PR concerned, Anti-Mage is kind of where he needs to be, but some of these other heroes are really underfarmed. Sashclo was solo mid Lina, and he's still not got a Yule Scepter at 19 minutes in. Like, you normally want to see this Lina have something like a 16 to 18 minute Yules and just start finding pickoffs or at least having the utility that the Yules provides in. It's come way too late. Compare that to S4, who's got Blink, Yules, both, and Lina just doesn't look... Lina looks like a support right now.
Yeah, it'll still be useful just to deal with the puck silence and to force Enigma to go for BKB most likely, but that, well, looks like top lane we might have a go. S4 setting up. They do have relocate ready. Silence to start. Nope, not coming in just yet. So it looks like Anti-Mage might get this tower finally. Yeah, I'd give Det Yara a tower.
I guess maybe Notel and Kuro just... Well, they were in position to go for that one, but...
It's... Yeah. You relocate there, and he could just blink out to break the coil, and I don't know if they have the follow-up damage to kill him.
I think they were also missing vision. Like, they can't see Tide, and if Tide's right behind the Anti-Mage with Blink Ravage, suddenly you lose all your heroes. That's, like, worst-case scenario.
Yeah.
So...
Well, set the clock now, gods. He's got the Blink Dagger. Has the Arcane Boots. He looks to be building towards a Force Staff first, maybe a pipe. I'm thinking a Force Staff, though.
We've been seeing a lot of Force-Staff Tides now.
I guess it could be a mech. It's kind of late, though.
I think Starlighter was when everyone remembered just how good Force-Staff was. For a long time, people were, like, kind of stopped buying it when it was, like, one of the most bought support items for the longest time in, like, 6.80, 6.81, but...
I mean, after Blink Dagger, it's just...
Yeah.
The zero mana cost Blink is pretty ridiculous, but I think Force Staff still might be...
It's
the better choice.
It's so good late game on supports because it's a great counter to hexes. It's a great, like, when your opponents have like huge lockdown Abyssal Blade, something you double force off. Even if they're facing the enemy team and you force staff them towards the enemy base, if you force them twice, it just pushes them far enough away that it saves their life most of the time. So
that's why our Spirit is OP.
Yeah,
because his doesn't care which way
man.
you're facing. He's just got the super long range vacuum cleaner.
That hero I think would be really OP
dude.
and competitive. He's one of those heroes which is like good, like a good Earth Spirit play in pub games is like, yeah, he can do a lot, but I feel like competitive Dota, that hero would just wreak havoc.
Well, where do we sit now for Team PR? They've gotten the lanes pushed out. They're down 2 towers, so slight comeback. They've really done a nice job of split pushing this, actually.
Yeah.
And you consider where the lanes were earlier, gods, like the Slark and the Wisp were just farming at the Dire tier 2 top. They were posting up mid with the puck. They are not so confident anymore. They're going to try to make a move, but there's good wards here from the Dire side spotting out this rotation.
And Puppy's entirely itemizing like for the mid game with this mech pipe. I feel like this game's going to go late because I don't think Secret have what it takes to break the high ground against Sand King Tide. So I almost rather would see Puppy go for like BKB, Blink, Refresher, these kind of items rather than go for this pipe. I don't think the pipe, having a pipe against Sand King Tide is always nice, but he needs those big items more for the late game. Because Anti-Mage already has Manta. Like, you're already in a position where maybe you can bring down tier 2 towers, but I don't think you can push high ground.
It will help them keep the creep wave alive, which against Lina is a bit of an issue. She's very good at deep pushing. Yara gets caught out here. Malefice. He has a blink in 1 second. He'll be able to get out. And he is stalling for now. They're not pushing.
Yeah, kind of just not toying with Secret, but
he's also not farming at the same time.
Yeah. He pulls them away from the tower so they can deny it. The tier 2 will go down, but...
I actually like the pipe. There's going to be a timing here where they have the pipe, the mech. Your Slark has an Eye of Scotty, so yeah, not a BKB against a lot of stuns, but he's going to be very durable. Prophet has the Blink Dagger Maelstrom.
Yeah. So
you can use the Prophet to push in all the lanes. Maybe you find a relocate pickoff, and then you just go high ground. And PR can eventually break through that pipe, but I think it's going to keep them alive long enough to cause problems. Top lane, Kuroki, caught out. Didn't have any backup and will end up going down.
They use a lot of ultis, but it's because they steal a gem off of that. So that's actually really nice.
Big Daddy was just chilling in the woods. I mean, this is, when you run this combo, you really want the Wisp constantly in position for the defensive relocate out. But they didn't even have eyes on him. They just made a go, and it worked out. And there were no Dire Observer ones
Bottom
there.
lane, though. They're going to find Cheshire Cat here. Use a lot to try and bring him down. Wisp is there, and that's a counter kill on the Tide, but...
That magic damage really good against Tide.
Yeah.
They got a lot of nukes. It's actually a really good BKB game, I want to say. for Secret. Like you.
Oh,
you did,
yeah. That's
think
why I
even
think
after
Puppey
this pipe,
needed.
you still go back
Yeah,
for it.
yeah. I don't think Blink is as super important in this game because Anti-Mage is trying to fight into you. You've got melee heroes in the Sanking the Tide, but the main thing I think they, like you say, they need to try and get something done with this pipe, which is bring down all the outer towers, take the next Roshan, and then ideally try and get a lane of Rax with that Aegis. They
Yeah.
can't go high ground with that Aegis this game unless PR really slip up.
Yeah, that or a lot of buybacks. Let's see, because they do have the Wisp, so they could do a triple buyback to try and break high ground. But yeah, I think he's still an Aegis here. And right
Pipe
now they
is-
have one just on the Prophet.
Pipe is kind of like conducive
Prophet
to like
and Puck.
yeah, it's kind of conducive to 5-man play, and the problem is Anti-Mage will just go counter push other lanes, so they need a, I mean, you mentioned like the relocate ganks, if they can try and catch the Anti-Mage split pushing and then group up as 5, it works, but Anti-Mage is doing a really good job of keeping these lanes pressured.
And they're not really that good at killing AM now. If they get a Hex on the Puck or a Abyssal on Croaky, that changes, but he jumps in onto Suniko bottom lane. Ravage still on cooldown for a full minute. Look at the nuke damage.
Yeah.
Oh my.
This Tide looks like paper in these fights.
Really, really good jump there from Secret. Knowing Ravage is on cooldown, you could be much more aggressive. And sure, they got a gem earlier, but if Secret secure this next Roshan on the back of that fight top, then it may prove to be the death knell for PR nonetheless. Pretty big game for PR. I think they're guaranteed playoffs at this point, or very close anyway.
yeah, if
but
they-
with a win here, they definitely would be.
Yeah, if they get a loss, they're 7-4, which I think is like
Uh-oh, Nature's
maybe
Prophet at the Secret Shop for the Radiant side. Caught up by a stun. There's a Laguna Blade waiting. Simba, prepare
it.
to meet Pew Pew.
Yeah. Meanwhile, bottom lane, though, they've actually broken the high ground here. Sanking forced a Burrow Strike away from a Slack. The Wisp going to follow this one up. It looks like J4. Can he get out of there? No, sirree. Lena shows up, but the stuns are off the mark, and Big Daddy No-Tail still alive on the Wisp. Tier 3 Tower being sieged as well. They've got Eidolons, although they are taking some damage. Mech from the Enigma heals Kura right up.
Have Ravage now. He's going to come in and drop it
Oh.
immediately. No,
What?
maybe not. Blinks into the tree line. Cheshire
is
Cat,
that?
what you doing, my friend? Now the Wisp going to chase out Big Daddy, or rather, Anti-Mage going to chase out the Wisp. Big Daddy, though, kept alive by the pipe. He blinks into the trees. He gets slowed by the tether. A lot of commitment just for that Wisp, and, well, they will hold for now, but not really the best exchange there overall. Just getting the Prophet and the Wisp.
Yeah. They got a lot of damage. They got the Tier 3 Tower Secret, which is pretty big at this point. So yeah, I kind of agree that I don't think PR, what they got in exchange, was worth it. Lena finding the Prophet, the Ancients. Prophet at this point doesn't really matter much for Secret and their strategy. It's much more around that like 5-man push and breaking the high ground.
Yeah, he's just here to throw me honor buff on the Slark and to push out the lanes. That's pretty much it. So.
Yeah, he's kind of, yeah, like you said, they dealing with the Anti-Mage. Like if Anti-Mage is trying to go for like the counteract, Prophet just TPs back and then, well, if for whatever reason they kill the Prophet, then that's where Secret take a Tier 3 tower.
S4 is actually not going Hex, though. He's going Aghanim Scepter, which
Ooh.
I personally think this is one of the most ridiculous Aghanim's upgrades in the game now. Ben, we were casting at Starladder, hadn't seen it before. He's like, it doesn't really sound that great. Trust me, this item is amazing, especially if your opponent's mass up BKBs, which, to be fair, PR aren't likely to do. But it's a very long coil stun, and it holds them in place for ages.
4.5 seconds stun, and for Anti-Mage, the problem is if you're in the coil, like you're trapped in place and they can try burst you down. If you blink out, then you get hit by the coil stun. So it's actually a pretty nice item pickup against a blinking hero who can blink out of your coil.
Yeah, so you either sit there for, 7 seconds, I believe?
8 seconds.
8 seconds,
yeah.
or you jump out, and if you don't do it right away, then you're stunned for up to like
Yeah.
11, 12 seconds where you're pretty much held in place. So, of course, you can man fight, potentially, if you've got the items for it, and the hero does build a Basher.
That's not a man fight item. Well, I mean, it's a 1v1 man fight item, but if you're in coil, you want like Heart, Butterfly,
That was
and
a really
BKB.
nice... With taking the Rosha in there, though, makes that a really nice move overall for PR. Like, I think you're pretty much... You got the Prophet and the Wisp, which are not the most important heroes, but they're still essential to breaking this high ground. When you're up against this much PR team fight, you need all 5 to fight against it, and with the AM Basher and the, potentially an Abyssal Blade, he might be able to just go for it. His top lane, they jump in with the Slark, he'll leap away. They're going to Burrow Strike through here. Where's that Big Daddy relocate? He's sitting in the back lines, and he tethers. Oh, they bait out the Ravage! Cheshire Cat, that was a bit late, man.
He had enough time to cancel that.
That
one.
was like a full second.
Yeah.
Maybe he's lagging. That was really late.
Nope, missed Lena stun on arrival. No-Tail will get the tether away. Don't think he's going to survive anyways. I think there's a mana void. Not needed.
Maybe they get the puck here as well. Buyback on Big Daddy. They want to break the base now, I think, knowing that there's no Ravage.
Yeah, they're keeping them distracted in the top lane in that jungle. That's S4 on the puck, maybe trying to cancel some TPs, although he's already used his call. Has the Yule Scepter to cancel TPs, and Kura at bottom. isn't really doing any damage to the Raxes right now. The Range Rax gets some chipped away a little bit, but now they've got a big creep wave.
Epicenter, channeling up now. Who's he going to jump on? Only onto the Enigma, who did not pop his pipe or his Mech Puppy. We'll get both off, but it's too late. He's already taken way too much damage. Will go down. They'll use the Slark. In the meantime, your Puck is split pushing the top lane, but it also means one of their key team fight components is out of this fight, so KuroKy's forced to back. While Simba leaps in, they'll lose the Big Daddy Wisp. That's a dieback for him. He's really been struggling this game quite a bit. Soniko, though, in trouble. That Laguna Blade zaps down the Slark.
That's
Lina's starting to heat up here.
That was just such a bad fight. Secret got no damage done to the Raxes. They lost 4, make it 5 really with the dieback from the Wisp. And S4, it's like, yeah, he's kind of pushing top lane, but he doesn't actually really do any significant, important damage to the base of Power Rangers.
You know, one thing that's going to make this fight pretty bad is the fact that Lina's about to get that Ags, man. That's pure damage.
Yeah.
That ignores your magic mitigation.
I think that fight there kind of showed where the pipe doesn't do much, because PR just single target focus fire. He got the pipe and mech off. Sure, he didn't get it off first, but either way...
Still got it on his team, at least. Like, he's pretty much...
Yeah. Either way, it heals him. It gets a 250 heal and the 400 magic damage block, and he died anyway, so it doesn't save his life. If he has a BKB there, he probably stays alive and does a lot.
Just rotated in bottom lane, but already TP now as your Tidehunter. I think he could have stayed around and made it go.
There's still a gank squad coming, though. Sand King and Lina,
They do have a ward here, so they've seen most of these heroes running down the bottom lane. It could actually end poorly. The one good thing for Secret Gods is they do have Rat Dota. If they can't take fights, they have the Wisp, they have the Slark, the Puck, the Prophet, 4 very mobile and elusive heroes, but that is not the way you want to be game planning after how this started. They're going to jump in on this Lina. Nice defensive Yules, and out the tether, the bash. Fortunate timing. Throw out that Laguna Blade? Nah, not going to bother.
Yeah, J4 just sitting in the tree seed. Ooh, almost maybe got spotted by that ult.
Relocating forward, though.
Oh, man. PR just a bit sloppy here. Pick off after pick off, and that's a gem as well being dropped. So.
That's pretty big.
And that...
Just for the map control. Like, they have these 2 wards out. When you have no towers, you really need wards, and you're not going to get to keep them with the gem gone.
Neither of those heroes has buyback. This is definitely a dead range Rex, possibly melee as well.
Well, the Giant Slayers may be slain by a giant here. KuroKy leaping onto Cheshire Cat. He's going to throw out another Dark Pact.
This teacher mantis in with an Abyssal Blade and just blows up No-Tail. Here comes the Epis and a Ravage combo. Perfect synergy coming up from the PR team fight. And even with the 2 supports dead. And
KuroKy's a little too big, though. He's going to bring down Digara once. He looks for J4, who got stunned by that Puck, and will end up going down now, leaping away to the south. They'll leap forward. Do they get a bash here? No, not going to happen.
He's got 26 Essence Shift stacks. That is just massive. You cannot fight this Slark right now.
Oh, he doesn't. Sorry, he doesn't actually have a bash. I'm thinking of the anti-age. I didn't get my coffee yet. But yeah, either way.
Those Essence Shift stacks add up and just do too much. Like Kuro now with 200 damage. That's base damage. And the agility is just insane.
They didn't actually get melee, but they force out a buyback here. And that's on your Sand King, not the biggest deal. Is the Yara going to kill Mystic Flare? Everything thrown out at Kuro. Honestly, losing the Sand King, having him buy back, but getting the KuroKy Slark kill, I almost want to say worth it. Not quite. They did lose their Aegis, but they have the Abyssal Blade now at Ditya.
The Aegis was about to expire, so that he timed that Aegis. Like, he dived into 5 heroes knowing he was going to be okay, and then just waste the Aegis. Well, not even waste, it was perfectly used. So.
If they don't kite him with the Puck, Eggs, Coil, and they don't Black Hole the Anti-Mage, Secret are going to have a lot of trouble fighting him.
Yeah.
I think Black Holes are very low probability up against Mono Void. There's no BKB. This could come back to haunt Puppy now. There's the Ravage can cancel, the Burrow Strike, the Lina Stun, and Yules, as well as the Silence on Scarlet Mage. There's like 7 or 8 ways to cancel this Black Hole, so you really can't be relying on it.
Yeah, they missed the combo bottom lane. Now relocate in, but who's No-Tail? Bringing 2 hero Black Hole. Burrow Strike's there waiting, so just the 1 kill, but it's the anti-mage of all heroes.
He leaped out and broke the coil and just got clipped by the Profitable. That Agative's coil, man, doing work, and then to top it off, they lost the Courier as well. What's your Courier hotkey? Do you have one?
What's your Courier hotkey?
9.
There we go.
I normally control group it, but for casting,
No.
You don't even have a select Courier hotkey, do you?
You can set
Yours
one.
is 9 now. Had a teleport scroll, so not a big deal. I'm not sure. I guess they were just sending one to TP out. Uh-oh. Well, situation now for Power Rangers. Prognosis is not very good. Anti-Mage is alive. Has buyback, rather. Is not alive, but could use it.
Would rather
they have no
Ravage,
though, for 17. They might get 2-Rex here. This could be game.
I think you've got to buy back for this. 2-Rex is down, I think you lose the game. Even with a
against this lineup, yeah. Like, Secret would have to severely misplay. They also have all their tier 2s. So it's going to be tough to base race them.
There's the buyback. They're a bit scared of the Tide Ravage, maybe, and they get a tier 3, so Secret can fall back, wait next Roshan, at least make sure Antimage doesn't get another Aegis, and Secret are actually picking up big items. This is like Enigma still doesn't have BKB. Prophet just gets his BKB. So for Secret to sit back and wait for these items is actually like they're going to get a lot stronger. Whereas PR are pretty much peaked out in some ways. Like Tide, his refresher it's a dreamboat. It's not coming anytime soon. And Anti-Mage, after that buyback, probably not picking up any items anytime soon.
And Anti-Mage definitely does not outlate game a Slark 1v1, especially not when the Slark is a Wisp backing him up.
Yeah. I think Slark maybe even going Hex against the Anti-Mage. He's picked up an Ultimate Orb and having a Hex...
Look at that coil break, dude! He's still stunned!
Yeah.
So ridiculous.
They want this Anti-Mage. Unfortunately, they don't have enough follow-up. They're going to bring down Big Bang No-Tail instead on the PR side. Sand King in the fray here. Slark is just going to town here. Kuro trying to get those Essence Shift stacks once again. Sand King and Skywrath dead, and, well, Tide Rabbit...
What was...
What?
GG. They saw... I think it
that like a
stunned Kuroki.
misclick?
I'm pretty sure that must have been. I mean, why would you go in there anyway, though? Your Sand King's dead. You should be fighting in the base. I think he just entirely pressed the wrong button.
Yeah, maybe
Like,
trying to, like, type to his team. I've done that before. I'm, like, trying to type and you push the hotkey because you didn't, like, enter it or push enter, and it's embarrassing.
even if he, like... Maybe his blink got canceled, he's trying to go in, but that was not going to work out the way they were hoping for.
I don't think he had real backup. Maybe you kill one with, like, the help of Laguna.
Now
Now Slack goes
going to
in.
go in. He does have the Abyssal Blade, uses on S4, will get the puck kill while Kuroki just ignores him and happily charges forward. I love that Lina Aghanim Scepter. Just zapping heroes to smithereens. But they do lose 2 lanes of Rax, and Secret now sitting on 4 buybacks, about to be 5 once No-Tail farms 300 gold. PR need to get like 2-3 team wipes in a row to turn this around, and that's going to be tough.
Antimage needs that evasion talisman ASAP. Lina coming to back him up. Dicha-Ra going to go down anyways, and I guess there's still 4 PI heroes alive, but
He has plus 81 agility from Essence.
I was just about to say, Secret can win the game off this. They just buy back Puck and Profit, knowing Antimage doesn't have buyback himself.
Yeah, Cheshire Cat goes down, doesn't have his Ravage. Even if he did, it really wouldn't matter. Now they sprout Sun Eco, and PR... Not so mighty or morphin this game, gods. I guess we don't get to play their song, which is the main reason why I'm always sad when PR loses, because I love playing that goddamn song. But
they had an alright showing. Like the game was close for a long time, I feel, but I don't know. Small things didn't go. Well, some small things didn't go their way, and just like when Secret first got that bottom racks, it was like just the two supports getting caught out unnecessarily. So
yeah. So where does this... I think Secret have still only dropped 1 game in the Summit, too, which puts them in pole position to finish first place.
They're 6-1, but, you know, there was another team who were 6-1, and that was Team Tinker, and then they lost 4 games in a row.
And Tinker also lost to teams that largely they should have at least been expected to have a chance, if not beat. Like, the Compass Gaming loss in particular is going to stick in their craw as a team they should have beaten. Not to take anything away from Compass Gaming, I think they actually remind me of Power Rangers. Although Power Rangers have got more consistent recently, but the kind of team that could just take an upset off anyone.
Well, we've got a couple more matches coming your way, guys, after this one. We've got Secret taking on Moscow 5, so the Secret marathon continues. And, yeah, looking forward to more Dota 2 action from Europe.
Yeah, you can see the scoreboard up here. I was, like, pointing. Resizing.
I feel like I'm on ESPN or something right now.
Oh, so legit. The green screen was a good call, man.
Yeah.
Definitely a good call.
Well, stick around, guys. More Europe action coming from the Summit 2 by G2A.com. I'm Gods. He's LD. Stay tuned.